So those who want to jump over to YouTube, you can feel free to do that. All right, so we're ready to go. Okay, so what I want to do with you this evening, I want to just share a little bit because I know we are in the third week, and there are some who started, they're not on, and they'll go through different changes, different challenges. So I want to just give you some encouragement in those areas and in terms of what it is that is really taking place. I'm hearing from some of you are messaging me basically on things that you have been experiencing, some of the things and why you are not seeing certain things and all that stuff. So we want to bring some clarity. All right. So we have just completed the 3 weeks, all right, of the 40-day decoding. And what happens now at this point, you are literally for 20 days, we have been speaking, all right, we have been writing differently in health and your wealth, all right, and your system has been getting the message, okay, has been really getting the message. Now, research shows that new habits move through phases, okay? And it's important what I share with you this evening because so you can understand the whole transition and what is taking place. Because remember, I said to you, a lot is happening even when you think and even when you are feeling or seeing that nothing is happening, a lot is taking place. Okay, so research shows that new habits move through phases. Okay, and usually it takes weeks or months to become automatic. Now, remember some of the patterns and some of the things that we are changing, these things have been really established in your subconscious mind for 20 years, 30 years. Some of you, you have been doing those things since you was a child. Okay, but now you are at a place of revelation and understanding. You realize that those patterns is really cause some things in your life. Now you are at a place where you implementing a procedure to change it, and it's not going to change overnight. This is why, and I'm going to explain this to you, you have what you call the 20%, sorry, the 5% and the 1%ers. Okay? Because statistics will tell you that really that when anyone sits in a class or challenges are out like this for somebody, really the percentage of people that will really shift is 5%, 1%. Okay, this is why even though we started this journey, you will see on the chat there's less response in terms of the emoji and all that stuff. Okay, it gets less and less and less. People respond less and less and less all the time. Okay, and that's understood. Okay, you will start off with 200 before the 40 days finish. You might end up with 50. You might end up because the 5% and the 1% is a reality. All right. So literally now we have passed the early, sorry, the early excitement. Okay. The excitement stage. And now we are into the stage where new patterns is fighting for permanent residence. And when I say excitement, because remember, I remember a teaching, I did a teaching on exposure, okay, and atmosphere. And I said to you that you really, for real change to take place, you want to be exposed. And the law of exposure is that once you're exposed, you cannot be unexposed. Okay? And you'll realize that entertainment and excitement really don't change people. Okay? But as long as you are exposed, you cannot be unexposed. You can move from excitement now and just one phone call, and you shift from excitement straight to hurt, straight to being vexed with one phone call. But as long as you expose, no matter what phone call you get, no matter what people say something, once you expose, you cannot be exposed. So we are being exposing your genes, your cells, the epigenetic, all those things have been exposed based on what you have been saying. Always remember the law of exposure says once you expose, you cannot be unexposed. Okay, so we started off with excitement. Okay, that's the stage, right? And but at this stage now we are here where new patterns are fighting. So there's literally now what is really being doing, what we have been really doing is that a framework, all right, and I'm going to share this with you, and I'm going to share the framework and what has been taking place. So week one, all right, we woke up. We woke up on a lot of things are woken inside of you for week one. Week two, you had what you call stabilize the rhythm because we went into the epigenetic, we went into the cells and the sound and all that stuff. Week three has been about what? Fighting for ownership. So your old patterns, hear me, are trying now to pull you back. The old patterns, okay? All right? Because remember, the message that is coming into your system, your subconscious, your emotions and thing, is that, hey, we are hearing something regular, all right, to change. But there's a fight. So the old patterns are trying to what? Pull you back, and the new patterns are trying to root in. Okay, that is the things, the decrees, the belief system that you are releasing, those are trying to take root. But the old patterns, okay, are what? Are trying to pull you back. Now, they pull you back, and I want to talk about three specific shifts. Okay, three specific shifts. All right, which we deal with. You have number one is health, number two is wealth, and number three is the mind plus habits. Okay, now let's clarify that a little bit because these recaps is really important. Okay, and this is why I encourage those of you to don't miss the recaps. So first one is number one, which is the health. All right. Now many of you have noticed subtle changes. Okay, subtle changes. This is why I said to you, document in the particular areas. So probably your sleep, pain patterns, what again? Energy, stress responses, all right? Because science shows frustration is common when people don't see big visible changes fast, okay? A measure of frustration. Even though positive changes are in motion internally, but you are not seeing it externally, right? And scientists shows that frustration is common. So some of you, the frustration that you're experiencing, it is common. But what you do, you stay, right? You say small shifts are not nothing. This is what I'm saying. Small shifts are not nothing. They are proof. The promise is in motion. This is what I said to you. Document the little things, right? So that's in the area of health. Let's go into the area of what? A wealth. Now, people are bumping into all money scripts, okay? Which means that whenever it comes to wealth, there are all concepts and ideologies and things that you have tried things, okay? And you say somebody probably, you say to your mind, I always end up back to the same place, or I'm afraid to what? To decide differently with money. But these thoughts, and I want you to hear you, because remember, as long as you start a journey like this, there are going to be old patterns and thoughts coming up, okay? Coming up in your mind, all right? These thoughts are not signs of failure, okay? Now, if you are not getting any restriction or any fight, then something is wrong. But these thoughts that are coming up, it's not thoughts of failure. They are the walls around the old city. Hear me? Okay? Hitting them means you are reached the edge of your old territory. So the noise you are hearing, all right, it means that you are close to that break, okay, that you are hitting something. If you are not getting any challenge, if you're not hearing anything, okay, to stay and wanted to quit, then something is wrong, okay? So that's the health, that's the wealth. Then let's talk about the mind and habits. All right. So by day 21, the brain has what? has tested the new loop by day 21. Okay, now it's starting to feel more familiar, but not fully automatic yet, especially for the complex behaviors like lifestyle and money. Those are areas, as I said to you earlier, you cannot expect patterns that have been there, behaviors and lifestyle that have been there for 25 and 30 years to just shift automatically in 1 week, 2 days. Okay? It's not going to happen like that. All right? But what it is happening is that this is a testing phase. Yeah, I mean, it's a what? It's a testing phase. Your consistency right here decides whether this becomes permanent or fades away after 40 days. This is the testing stage. Because remember, I keep making mention and keep saying to you that what it is, you are dismantling old patterns and old behaviors. We call it erroneous concepts and ideologies that are being dismantled. Okay, so I said to someone, it's like you take 40 days to clear the land. Now it's time to build, you stop. Come on, okay? And that is what is literally taking place. And it's important that I clarify these things for you and to encourage you on this journey as you go forward. All right, now let's talk about what are some of the common challenges that you are experiencing. Okay, this is week 3. What are some of the challenges? And remember, I'm gonna unmute the mic in a few so I can hear from you. But I just want to go through some of these things. Okay, now I'm going to list a few challenges, and you could probably see if you identify with some of these challenges that has been taking place. Number 1, it says, I am tired. The excitement has worn off. Anybody like that? Come on, put it up in the text there. Give me some text there. All right. The next one, I miss a day or two, so I feel like I messed up. Anybody experience that? I missed a day or two. Come on, just put it up in the chat and say, that's me. It's confession time, okay? I missed a day or two, so I feel like I messed up. And remember, folks, these are what? These are some of the common challenges. Because on your way to healing, on your way to changing and shifting, okay, it's a process. And I want to encourage those of you who are on. The next one is that I don't see big changes yet in my body or my bank account. So maybe it's not working. Challenges. All right, just put it up there and say it's me. Okay, the next one, I'm scared that after 40 days, I will just slide back, all right, slide back into my old pattern. And these are some, just a few. And you could just put, yes, it's me, just confess there on the chat for us. All right, now, I want to take these challenges that I mentioned and I want to basically reframe them so I can teach you, I can show you how to deal with these things, because the challenges will not stop. If you are not getting challenges, okay, and if you are not wanting to quit or to stop, then something is wrong. Okay, the first one, I'm tired, less excitement. Okay, now this is normal. I'm going to say it again. It's what? It is normal. Early hype always dips. And this is where most people quit. Any lifestyle change, those who past the dip are the ones whose new identity sticks. So if you could cross that threshold, this is why I explained to you in part of the teaching, I said to you, in the whole paradigm dismantling, there's something called the terror bar. Okay? And that is when you reach that point to stop. That is when you have to push through. This is why my job as a coach, my job as your drill sergeant is to encourage you to push through. Okay? Because if you're feeling tired, less excited, it's normal. But you are reached the breaking point, don't stop. The next one is I miss a day or two. All right? Some of you say I miss a day or two. And you say, okay, this is called lapses. All right? Lapses or laps are part of the change process. Okay, so it's normal to lapse. It's part of the what? The change process. They are expected. So it is expected of you. Not a sign that you have failed. Hear me, folks. It is not a sign that you have failed. The key is not to turn a lapse into a relapse. I'm going to say it again. The key is you don't turn the lapse into a relapse. You simply return. Hear me now. Do not turn your lapse into a relapse. You simply return. Okay? So for those of you who miss a day, you miss 2 days, and you miss and you say, oh, I'm giving up. Okay? It's called a lapse. I'm saying to you, don't turn a lapse into a relapse. Simply return. Okay? Because it's a process. Number 3, all right? Not seeing enough change yet. Not seeing enough change yet. How many of you can identify with what I'm sharing with you? Just put it on the chat for me. Okay? I'm not seeing enough change yet. Now, many families and individuals making positive changes get discouraged. All right, exactly here. Why? Because the external, hear me, the external doesn't yet fully match the internal work. Hear me. The external doesn't match the internal. Okay? Now, science says keep going because the internal changes often precede the visible result. This is why I encourage you, if you're not seeing anything on the outside, which is the external, something is taking place on the internal. Come on, okay? But remember, in order for the external to change, the internal change. This is why there's a quote we said, it's an inside job. Okay? Don't stop because something is happening on the inside. You cannot see it yet on the outside because the internal is going to change first before the external become visible. Okay? Then what's the next one? We said fear of sliding back after the 40 days. How many of you are afraid you're sliding back after the 40 days? Now, that fear is actually what? Your emotions and your mind, okay? What it is telling you, we need a structure to hold this. It's telling you we need a structure to hold this. That's wisdom, it is not weakness. It is wisdom, it is not weakness. Please, folks, come on. Okay, so don't give up, don't pack up. Why? Because your fear of sliding back. Don't pack up. Why? Because you're not seeing enough change yet. Come on, it's just 3 weeks. Okay, and I said to you, some of you are dealing with some stuff there in your subconscious mind. These strongholds there, it has been there for 20 years and 40 years and 30 years and 10 years. Don't expect that to change in 2 weeks. Come on, okay? All right, this is why, again, I'm saying to you, this is why I'm here every weekend during the chat to encourage you. All right, now, let me share, I want to share now some strategies to re-anchor or to your 4th week, all right? And I want to give you some practical handles, okay? Because we are entering into the 4th week. When you look back, the 40 days is just disappear already. Okay? Now, the first one I'm going to give you is minimum standard. All right? Not perfection. Okay? Minimum standard, not perfection. Hear me now, folks. Okay, which means now you set a minimum necessary standard for yourself. Okay? Little by little. For those of you who are familiar with the Bible, in the Old Testament, God spoke to a prophet. He said, tell them, I'm going to bring them out little by little. Little by little, all right? I know you want to come out all one time, bam, but little by little. So set a minimum necessary standard for yourself, even on your worst day, all right? You will still do something, okay? Maybe a shortened decree, right? Set it. A one line written, one money action. This keeps the habit alive even when life is hectic. So challenge yourself. Listen to me, I'm going to do something because remember, the concept is to write the decrees 7 times. Make the decrees 7 times. Walk with a cue card with you during the day. Okay? But if you find that there's challenges, make sure and write something. Make sure and make that decree. So set a minimum necessary standard. But I know most of you, those of you who are on, you say, Dr. Cummins, I'm not no minimum thing. I'm going in all out. All right. How many of you say I'm going all out? Just give me a thumbs up there. Just put yes on the chat for me. You say, Doc, we going all out. 7 or nothing. Come on, somebody say 7 or nothing. 7 or nothing. All right. Now, allow me to give you a next one. You could use now, this is to help you during the journey. You use cues and supports. Okay. Encourage. So what you could do now, so in terms of the time you use an alarm, set your alarm clock. All right. At certain intervals that you want to make your decrees and you want to do stuff. Set your alarm on your watch, on your phone. Set some alarm. Okay. All right. Put sticky notes. Am I helping you? Put up some sticky notes on the mirror in the bathroom when you're brushing your teeth. Put up when you go in the bathroom, in your vehicle. Put up some sticky notes as reminders. All these things. And thank you. There, somebody says 7 or nothing. That's what we're talking about. All right, 7 or nothing. Okay. Well, again, your cue cards. Walk with the cue cards. All right, where they see, so you can see it. You have peer and decrees with existing habits. All right. So you sit in the morning to take a cup of coffee. You put some sticky on the fridge where you can see it. Okay, these are little things to encourage you going forward. Okay, now people underestimate how much support they need to make new habits. You hear me what I'm saying? Do not underestimate the support you need to make new habits stick. This is why we have the group, the WhatsApp group. This is why I communicate with you. This is why you have access to me. Send me a text. Send me, say, Doc, I'm feeling to give up. What's up? You know, this is why we have the group. So we can encourage, you can be encouraged because people underestimate how much support they need to make new habits stick. Folks, I'm telling you, consistency breeds results. You will hear me say this every time for recap. Okay, consistency breeds result. Little by little, you are changing paradigms. You are shifting. I think one of the sessions I'm going to do a paradigm teaching with you so you can fully understand that. Okay, now, so don't rely on your memory. Build that scaffolding around your new self. Okay, the scaffolding is what? The support system to encourage you going forward. All right, and then the third structure they'll give you. Celebrate micro wins. That's it. Okay. I said to you that you can message me your wins, message me your stuff. Why? All that is part of what? Gratitude. You want to celebrate. Don't wait again for the big stuff to celebrate. So every small act of obedience is a real seed. Understand what I'm saying, folks? All right. One better food choice. One moment of calm instead of panic. One different money decision. Write them down. These are what? Your proof that the old you is losing ground. Come on, are you with me there? The old you is losing ground. Do not underestimate or slight the little things. Okay, so you want to celebrate micro wins. So what are the strategies I give you? Number 1, minimum standard, not perfection. Okay. Number 2, use what? Cues and support. Okay. Then what again? Celebrate micro wins. And then the next one, celebrate micro wins. So it's 3 I give you, right? Now, remember I shared with you on laps. Plan for lapses, right? Expect that you will have days you slip. The plan is, listen to the plan, notice it, no shame, restart at the next opportunity. I want you to get that, okay? Because somebody dropped out, they miss a day or two, and they just back out everything and say, not handling with that. Okay, you were strict, somebody tricked you. All right, somebody trick you. Somebody trick you. Right. Okay. Notice it. Notice the lapse. No shame. Restart at the next opportunity. Everything is on the chat. Go back. Go back to the days. Go back to it. Okay? That's how real change looks in the research and in real life. If you sit with anyone who have experienced real change, they will tell you about the give up times, the give up moments. They'll tell you about the lapse and how they miss and all that stuff. They will tell you about that. You see, we hear all the nice testimony, the nice journey when everybody reaches the finish line. But you must talk to some individuals who are in the process and talk to individuals who will tell you the story about how much time they're stuck. Okay? Now, this is important. And I want you to understand what it is we are fully doing. Now, hear this truth, and I want you to pay close attention. Research shows that on average, it can take around 66 days for a behavior, all right, to feel automatic. With some people needing much longer depending on the habit. So our 40 days are powerful foundation, folks, but they're still within the shaping stage, not the final set stage. And I want you to get a hold of that. The 40 days that we are on, okay? It's powerful foundation, but there's still what? Within the shaping stage, it's not the final stage. That's why even while we started this and I saw the effort, okay, I believe I'm led to I create what we call a Dominion Health and Wealth Lab. I want you to hear me this, because some of you have been messaging me concerning what we're going to do after, okay? And I want you to understand the next step, the next journey. So what I started to do, I started to put together Dominion Health and Wealth Lab. All right. So the 40-day challenge is your what? Is your activation. Your 40-day challenge is you dismantling old paradigms, old patterns. Okay. Now you're going to build new patterns. Now, hear me with this. The lab now is designed to be simple, sustainable, and affordable. Okay. So that you can what? Realistically stay in an environment that supports the new you. All right, long after this challenge ends. And that is what you want. The community, okay, the collaboration, the connection, the conversation, the instructions. You want to stay connected with an environment that will facilitate the new you. Okay, and this is what I've put together for you. Okay, now, so what we're gonna do is that over this coming week, I'm gonna share with you exactly what's inside the lab, all right, and how you can be part of it when we finish the 40 days. Okay, now, especially for those of you who have been messaging me about what's gonna happen after. Now, you don't have to decide anything tonight. I just giving you a heads up, and I just want to encourage you where we are going with this whole community. All right. I believe that it's my responsibility to bring you, all right, this far, okay, and not to drop you, okay, after 40 days. So there's a next step for those who are hungry to continue, okay? Now, if you are tired and you are feeling that you are changing, if you have doubts and if you are not disqualified, you are at the edge of the old pattern. Let me encourage you again. Those of you, okay, that you're feeling that you feel like you are not qualified, or you are at the edge and you're having doubts because we are going into the 4th week, okay? I want to encourage you. I want to let you know so that you are the edge of the old patterns. Okay? You are the edge of the old patterns. So week 4, which is going to start tonight, tomorrow here, we're going to go in tomorrow. Week 4 is about sealing, all right, what we started. We'll say it again. It's about sealing what we started. So protecting your health decision, protecting your money decision, and protecting your new identity. Okay, so this 4th week is going to go into that aspect. Now, stay with the process. Use your supports, all right? Celebrate your micro wins. And remember, we are building something that will continue beyond these 40 days. So for those of you who are willing to live this, all right, as a lifestyle, okay? All right? Now, this is important. And this is what I wanted to share with you on this session. All right. And I pray, and remember, this is going to be up. This is up on YouTube. Go back and listen to it. Go back and listen to it, because I believe that I brought forth a lot of clarity so that you can fully understand what it is that is taking place. Now, what I want to do now, okay, I'm gonna unmute your mic. All right. Let me know if the mic is unmuted there. Let me know if you can unmute your mic. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Just give me a thumbs up if you can mute it. No. All right. That's now. All right. Tell me if you can unmute it there. Right. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Okay. So, right. Good. Wonderful. So now, we're going to take some testimonies. We're going to take some shade. You could tell me about your wins, your challenges. Tell me about how you're feeling. Tell me about what's happening. All right. Remember, when you share, you're going to encourage somebody. All right. I know since we are doing the recap, we have some powerful shade, and it really, really encourage those who are on. All right. So let's go. Who's going to go first?
I can go first. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just say your name. I'm going to get your name.
Penny. It's Penny.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Penny. All right, wonderful.
So, well, and the initially the changes looked a little bit small. I think that what God has showed me is that actually it doesn't have much to do with health or wealth, because I had strong revelations in those already, but
Right,
a
wonderful.
strong spirit of condemnation coming at me from, having lived in Suriname, being born in Suriname. I think that that's where it comes from mostly.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, he had shown me that it started to break. There was a break in a stone yoke around my neck, and
Okay.
I believe that is really coming off. So he's been establishing me in righteousness and the love of God. But that all goes along with the scriptures that you're also giving us. So I've been doing those, of course, too. And so God has really been working with me on establishing my righteousness, making me aware of what my righteousness in Him looks like, and the grace, receiving His grace, continuing, and not condemning myself. And that's a big thing. And it's also, I think, a big thing for where I come from and those that come from Suriname. Not to allow yourself to be condemned. There's therefore now no condemnation in those in Christ Jesus. And I am the righteousness of God, and oppression is far from me. So those are the things that God has really been speaking to me.
Wonderful, Penny. All right. So let's continue pushing. I love what you share there. All right. And because there's so much areas and so much aspect that shift is taking and clarity is coming. All right. So let's continue to push. Wonderful, Penny. Thank you for sharing. All right. Somebody else, just unmute your mic or put your hands up with a sign. Let me know those who are gonna be sharing. Go ahead.
What I like to share.
Sure. Name, just get your name. That's your name.
Ingrid.
Ingrid, okay. Right, okay, wonderful.
I'm used to continue going on until my energy is done, But then the Lord showed me, no, that's not the way. You should build in moments of rest. And I started doing it. And really, I see a change because then you have the energy the whole day through, even until the evening, because of the rest you have built in. And you are able to do much more than when you just keep on going until you feel it's done. Yes, that was something that I wanted to share.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Nothing
Thanks.
from
Thanks for sharing. All right. For those of you who, I just put the YouTube link on the WhatsApp group. I saw someone was asking for it. All right. So the YouTube link is on the WhatsApp group. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Rev, for sharing with us. Wonderful. All right. Somebody else again. Go ahead.
yes, good night, everyone.
And,
Yeah, and thanks for this program that has started here. This
all right.
40 days.
Give us your name. Give us your name.
Hi, good day. I'm Sister Cheryl Jonas.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right. Because of how many stuff set up, I can't see your names. Go ahead.
All
Go ahead,
right, yeah.
Cheryl.
So because this program that we started, this challenge and stuff, it's really great because I have learned that there's life and death in the power of the tongue, how serious that is in truth, you know? Because we may say that we know the life and death lies in the power of the tongue, but we don't really practice it. We always feel the words is just something that just, as I say, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never,
Words,
you know?
words.
So, but what we
Wonderful.
learn here, what I've learned here is that what I tell myself. So, last week I had experienced something. I used to have a little constipation in between during the pandemic and went to never getting a GI clinic to find out what it was, but it ended up disappearing. But
Okay.
recently, while I was doing this program, you said to speak to place your hand on the space of your body that you think is giving a little problem, or something like that. And I
Right.
placed my hand there around my intestinal area there under my abdomen.
Yeah.
And while I was doing it and I was praying and, asking God to, just, I can take this coming up back or whatever, And what it ended up with is that I got a little dizziness for like 2 days, 2 to 3 days. I was getting some slight nauseousness and I got a little diarrhea and all them different thing and stuff and thing. And I had to say thank
Okay.
God for because of it now, I got a little freeness feeling in my system now. And I realized that
Yes.
that space of me it work. I started to feel sick at first, I need to go by the doctor, but then I say, nah, I on a different program here. So let me see if it's that, And I started believing it was that and I could say thank God it did something because I
Wonderful.
feel clear, like I took a purge, it's like a purge that I took. So
Right.
it comes probably free up with that. So I just want to thank God for that tonight.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your testimony with that. Folks, I'm going to encourage those of you who are in the journey. Okay. This is something that the word, man. I think somebody has said something there. Getting clarity of the power of the word, all right, and the power of our tongue, how we could create and how we could shape and the impact, all right, that God has given to us by using our tongue. Remember, we go back into the teaching, your tongue is a tuning instrument. Okay, everything moves on what frequency. So, but I think because we are not trained and developed to do these things, sometimes we start, we stop. But I'm telling you, if you are consistent with this, using that word, it's going to happen. Trust what I'm saying, it's going to happen. All right. Let's go again. I see somebody puts a chat there. All right. This is Laurel or Lauren. I only started today with the challenge. Is it possible to get from the beginning? All right. So you want from the beginning? All right. We'll help you out. All right. Wonderful. Okay, folks, let's get another testimony. All right. Anybody want to share again? All right.
I'll go.
Wonderful name.
Stacey Ann.
Okay, Stacey, go ahead.
So in week 2, I spoke to you guys about how the enemy was attacking my mind when I was, after I started this, and during that time I had like pulled away from God because of those thoughts that I know that were coming. I know they weren't God, but instead of running to God, I really was running away from God, and so the Holy Spirit convicted me and reminded me of scripture, 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5, to hold those thoughts captive and have them be obedient to Christ and don't let it linger. So whenever it came back or whatever, I was prepared, I was ready for it. And each time the enemy tried to, revamp on my new truth, I would stop it there, give it to God, and then it would just go. So since then, my mind has been free and clear in my mindset. And so he wanted me to share that for those of you who are having problems with your thoughts or whatever, when it's trying to come back, the old pattern, the old thoughts, you just stop it in its track
Yes.
right there. Don't let it linger. Just stop it with the scripture, 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5, and give it to God. And I
Yes.
promise you, it will help.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing. And that is so true. I think the scripture is, I think Paul talk about pulling down every imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. All right. The minute it comes, you pull it down. And I think that's one of the reasons why, again, we are using all the scriptures. So you have enough scriptures to use, changing that thought pattern and playing that commercial over and over and over. All right. And that's what it's all about. Thank you, Stacey, for sharing. Okay.
You're welcome.
Anybody else want to share? Wonderful. Anybody else? All right. Testimony, challenge, wins.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, this is Graciela.
All right, Garshala,
Um,
go ahead.
yes. Um, I have a little testimony, but also maybe a little question. Um, the for me, this review helps me a lot because I do recognize all these things you said. That you are at the edge of breaking through. I see it in my health. For instance, I prayed for a better eyesight because I saw that lately I couldn't read my Bible or on my phone without my glasses. And I was like, I don't want it to go that way because I thought maybe I'm getting older and that kind of stuff. But as I prayed for it this past week, I see I can read it better now without my glasses. So I see some movement in there.
Wonderful.
At the money side, um, and I think that's my question. I also see some changes in my mindset. And for these past 2 days, I got my salary, and I realized that for these 2 days, I didn't want it to spend because I didn't want to go into the old pattern. I
Right.
recognize from the old pattern. I don't want to spend it. I want do it different. But then I
Right.
was like, but what should I do different? How should I do it different? So that's my question a little from what is the movement now? What should I do?
All right. Let me tell you this. And today we were doing a teaching, all right, in our ministry, all right, on the Joseph pattern. We were talking about finance and a lot of powerful stuff. All right. And I was saying to the folks that spending is easy. All right. Spending is easy. Okay, you don't need wisdom. All right. You don't need wisdom. Thank you, Sharon. Okay. Those of you in the East-West corridor, you need to come and visit our sanctuary on a Sunday because the things we teach on is kind of out of the box. Really, really awesome. So I said to the folks that there's no what? Spending is easy. You don't need an anointing. You don't need teaching. Everybody could spend. All right. That is something you could do. But when it's time to save, you need some wisdom. All right. And you got to be intentional when it comes to saving. All right. So even the patterns and the habits that you are implementing there, all right, it's really, really important. Keep your mic low, please, because somebody have the mic on. All right. Okay. So even the habits that you're implementing that as it come up, don't be afraid to implement it. Okay. Don't be afraid to implement the habits because these are things that you'll have to learn. All right. Saving is natural. I mean, spending is natural, but what? Saving is spiritual. Okay. Spending is natural, but saving is spiritual. which means that you have to learn how to save. And these are patterns and behavior that we'll have to shift to begin to implement. All right. So I want to just encourage you. There's more to those things. This is why I think if you come on earlier, I was advertising some of the courses and things we do. Because although we are, as I said to you again, although we are changing the paradigms, what happened after the 40 days, that is key. Okay, what patterns, what habits that you're going to be established in the area of finance, in the area of health and thing, what you're going to implement in those days is important. All right. So we're going to get to that later down. All right. Anybody else want to share again? Testimony?
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. While my testimony is not about money or health, even though I saw a great shift in my health with my joint pains and my thinking on money, my testimony is on procrastination. Now, last year, I was asked if I wanted to be an RI teacher. And I said yes, I jumped at the opportunity. And it took me a year and I didn't do anything. Every time I made up my mind, I say, okay, I'll go this week, I'll go this week. I keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. But when I started making the declarations and started speaking to myself, and I just want to let people know, you see, writing down that declaration 7 times is very, very important. I know it's a lot of work, especially for people who work in. And I want to say, last week I took a step and I did my first RI class, and it was wonderful. And this teaching really helped me to step out into the unknown. And as I say, it's helping me in my health and it's helping me in my finances, but it's also helping me with procrastination and making decisions going forward. Okay?
Wonderful. All right, folks, you hear it for yourself. You hear it for yourself. Thanks, Sharon, for sharing that powerful testimony with us. All right. Kizzy, go ahead. Kizzy?
Yeah, blessings. Good night, everyone. Good evening. Right, so I want to thank God for everything. I want to thank God for this platform. I want to thank him for what he's doing. So I have a testimony, and my testimony to me, it's a testimony. So this week I said, yeah, so this week I said to myself, I want to go global, but I said it before and I continue to say it. And I said, I have to go global. So someone invited me to a global meeting yesterday morning. And then after the meeting, after the Zoom meeting, I had a next link for us to go on to our next meeting. But this meeting didn't have much crowd. And that meeting, when the people see I selling their products, they ball because they wanted to, Trinidad have this too, So they was shouting and bawling for this thing and saying, wow, tell me more, how you guys do this thing? So I said, well, I said, well, I see a good product and I wanted to have that in my shop because I am a drugstore. And in my drugstore, well, when I say it's not a drugstore, but it's only for natural health.
Yeah, we
So I only
understand.
want the best. So I say I want the best in my store, only the best. So I have things that people could afford and people who it have VIP and it have the regulars. So this product is VIP. So it's two VIP. And these people want
Yeah.
to know how I had this and them, So they say, Kizzy, I got to meet you. So I say, well, no problem. Once they are coming down on the 6th of February to go to Skinner Park, wherever is the case of you. I say, right? And I come into that shop because you selling what I have, and how you get it. So I said, well, I don't just offer products, I offer more than a product. I just do a full body scan, but my scan does talk any language because I upgrade myself to the next level. So our client came, and when she left,
I just share some of I just advertise how this report was speaking in different language. I say if you are in China, because there's a group of people now I'm talking to, they can speak Chinese. So they say, what? Let me see. So what after if it could speak St. Lucian Creole? Well, that I translated for her. And she said, that's my language. So it's like real Joseph mandate.
Yes,
Joseph has
yes.
been doing this global thing. This is not just with feeding a crowd, but healing a nation. You understand? And speaking their language as well. So this is it. So it's another level. And even when my friend called me from in Africa and they have their language there, and I say, what's your language? Because there's a whole set of people out there, there's global people. So they're talking them language too. They want to have this scan. Everybody want this machine. I say you will have this machine, but I am the only
Wonderful.
person who know how to train you in connection with this machine. And this is like, Joseph indeed kind of walking into that life. I thank God for this. And, as we speak into the atmosphere, God said to ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the doors will be open. You are global people. You are not limited to nothing. So expand your
Wonderful,
mind
my
to the
God.
next level. You see the sky, you see the moon, you see this. Go beyond that. But things that you can't see. Look at the
Right.
galaxies.
Wonderful,
Lovely house. Thank
wonderful,
you.
wonderful. Folks, you all hear it. We are not local, we are international. All right. So you got to see yourself international. Thank you, Kizzy, for sharing. All right. And folks, there's a lot of things we have coming up. I want you to stay connected. Hence the reason again, let me plug in again what we're going to be doing after the 40 days. I want you to stay connected because we're going to build a community, because what the stuff that we put in place for you after, it is going to be important for your next step in this journey. All right. I see Pastor Aline. Go ahead. Let's see. Aline?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Apostle, good evening.
Wonderful. Good
Apostle, the
evening.
thing about it is, I was saying, all right, how do I share this? But I think it's procrastination. So
Okay.
when it comes to getting up and doing my assignment, writing it, I have my cue cards. Yeah, I
Mhm.
proud myself. I have it. I write it. I recite it during the day that I ponder on it. But it's just now while I sat here and you talk about spending is natural, saving is spiritual.
Oh,
And
yes.
I started to, just understand like for me, when it comes to the health action, I need to start to exercise. And Apostle, I will tell you this much. Everything else, you see, all if you see I have a journal, it is neat, it is organized, I'm doing it. Yes, I could pride myself with some of those things. Yes, you did it. Yes, I'm doing, yes, I'm meditating. But then there is an action that I need to take. So I
Mm.
took the action, you start to exercise, 2 days into it, you just give up. So for
Mm.
me, I am just seeing this week, when you're talking about, there are different degrees of lapse. So I didn't lapse in my commitment of doing my daily task. I have not lapse in that. I have not lapsed in meditating. But I
Right.
know for me that the deeper, the next stage is certain actions that must be taken. So certain
Right.
actions as it pertains to what you eat, what you put in your body, so you are doing it like that,
Mm.
but I need to be more intentional. I need to be more driven by it.
Right.
So
Okay.
you all
Okay.
pray for me. Okay, pray for me
Wonderful.
as well.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank you.
Pastor Aline. And as you said, I want to just plug this in here. Folks, I want you all again. As Aline spoke there, a paradigm issue. A paradigm, because she started the exercise, bam, she stopped. Why? Because that paradigm, because the minute you start to do something that you're not doing before, your cells, your nervous system, everything kick in and tells you something is happening in this body that we don't know. Let's adjust ourselves to make sure it don't happen. All right. That is why paradigm shifting is so important. Understand? And there are paradigms, you have paradigm established in different areas of your life. Okay? So what we're doing here this 40 days, this thing is so important, folks. I'm telling you that. So I want to, again, kudos for those of you who are sticking with it, those of you who are in it. And I shared tonight, go back and listen to this session that we did earlier on. Go back, it's on YouTube, to encourage you. Those of you thinking about you give up and you stop, there are folks, call them if you know folks who are on, who started and stopped. Yes, they're saying in the chat, but they're just spectating, they're not participating. All right, call them and, encourage them, tell them, come back on the bandwagon, let's go, come on. Remember, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. All right, let's go. Somebody here, Tanja, go ahead. Suriname is in the house.
Yes, thank you. What I have been feeling, I have been feeling tired, but it doesn't stop me, and I will not give up.
Wonderful.
I'm just feeling tired. I don't know why,
Okay.
but I'm doing everything that's in the chat. Everything every day. I've been doing it. Listening to the declaration also on my phone, writing it 7 times, speaking it out loud the whole day. What I saw that happen one time in church, I am trying to keep my mouth shut because a lot of times you have to just say nothing and leave it to God. But I'm talking too much always. And if something irritates me, I just jump. And for this day, it was very it was a frustrating evening after church because they were giving drinks and food and people were getting crazy of food. I don't know why. But I wanted to say something and I just did not. I prayed and I asked to don't let me say things I don't have to say. Just
Good, that's good.
let me shut my mouth and don't look at the people. And for that moment, it happened. I just looked, I turned around and I walked away.
Woo,
So
that's a big one.
I saw, and the other thing I'm doing constantly now is declarations. Also, if
Right.
I'm riding my car, wherever I am, I'm declarations and trying to focus on the word, on a verse, when I'm at a place, and constantly saying also, I'm a king, I'm a priest, I'm a prophet. So I have to talk as a
Right.
king. So
Mhm.
don't say something. That's what I'm constantly doing, and I don't know if I know it's working inside, but I don't see it yet. But I
right.
keep on doing it.
All right, wonderful. And let me tell you something, Tanja. Just that fact that's a win. That's a win. That's what I'm saying. That's a win. Okay. Paul, what the Bible says, a still tongue keep a wise head. He said, be slow to speak. Okay. So just that day, just you didn't say anything. That's a win. So you have to celebrate those. It may look small, but that's big. All right. You will be surprised when some people open them out how the disaster and all kind of thing happen. All right. So it's a discipline. It's a discipline. Okay. So when you say it's nothing, but that itself there, what you share there, that's big. Honestly, that's real big. All right. Consistency is little. And just hearing your testimony, I can also see where the shape and the pattern is taking place. All right. The shape and the pattern is taking place. I'm seeing it there. Okay. All right, well, the shape and the pattern is taking place. Okay, so continue. All right, I see your family is laughing and laughing at you on the live here because she know. All right, Penny is laughing. She know. All right, so so we're gonna take one more, folks, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay,
Blessings, Doc.
remember this is on YouTube, so you can go back and listen to it. All right. Who's gonna
Yes,
who we have
yes,
there?
Doc.
Good night, Apostle.
Okay.
All right, go
Someone
ahead.
else.
All right. Let me hear who we have there?
It seems as though two of us came on at the same time.
All right, so let me go with the mail because we have the ladies. The ladies
Trevor,
are up. All right, hey Trev, what's up? Go ahead.
message, yes. Um, One of the things that you will realize that I sometime after 12 I am up, and I even
Right.
sent you a message one day asking you like, you forget the message or what. So
Yes.
I operate with an attitude of expectation, which will help in what it is that you're doing. You're looking forward to it. But one of the things that I want to share with them that is happening to me, even though I'm involved in some of the coaching, is writing. So I'm hoping that some of the people are not using their declarations by an electronic, by doing it on your phone or your iPad or whatever. When
Mm-hmm.
we write, especially you're writing it cursive, it took me back into that. Now that I have to write
Mm-hmm.
this thing 7 times, just writing, started taking me back into, what is going on with the mind and how things actually work. So people need to pay attention to that. And when I am writing it, I speak it at the same time. So
Right.
I do number one, and I sometimes I will pause after I write it. Then I go to number two, and then you pause and write it. So it's just quieting the mind when you're doing this. Is
Mm-hmm.
try not to do this. I am quiet in my space when I'm doing that. You know where I live. Either I go on the patio and do it, or
Yeah,
down at
yeah.
my office inside. But you can't be doing this with for the heck of writing it down.
No.
This has to be something that you sit quietly, because as you're doing it with a whole different mindset. So that is what I'm experiencing, that I realize that, okay, I'm doing this and this is what is happening. Is the cursive and the writing take me back into that, because you spend a lot of time, you know what I'm talking. We spend a lot of time on electronic instruments,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's a totally different mindset when you move from doing that. Because if I punch A on my iPad, that is not cursive that I am dealing with, but when I have to write, that is taking me in. So I want to thank you for that. I saying write
One.
it down. So I hope people don't mix it up when you say write it down, because
Yeah.
remember in Habakkuk they say write the vision.
Right division. Wonderful. All
So
right. Thanks, Trevor. Thanks, Trevor. I think in the early stage, I said to you, don't just, write it, pen, ink it. You think it, you ink it. Write it on. Why? Because when you begin to write, as Trevor said, with the cursive and all that stuff, it does something to your nervous system. It connects. All right. So this is why you will find most of the guys when they tell you write it, and don't just on your phone text it. Write. Get a pen. Notice I said to you in the early stage, get a pen and paper. Get a notebook. So when you're writing, you want to ink it, all right, because it does something to your nervous system. There's a connection, all right. So for those of you who are new, and all this is bringing us in alignment, folks. All this is bringing, because remember, it's a journey, it's a process. So probably for those of you who are not writing, and you are using your on your iPad or something, get a pen, get a paper, get a notebook, and start writing the decrees, writing it. Okay, all right. So I think somebody wanted to say something just now. Let me have that person, and then we're gonna bring it in. All right, person still there?
Hi. Hi, good night, Apostle Tosha here. Good night, everyone.
Hey Tosh, what's up? Wonderful, good to have you on.
Right, so day 17 made me face a fear that I have had for about 18 years that I never even mentioned to you or even my
Mm,
mother or my
okay.
sisters. My father died at a very early age.
Mm,
And well, Apostle, I've been going through some challenges with my health. And
yeah.
everything that I saw him go through, I'm noticing the same things in myself as I'm coming older to the age of,
Mm,
right? And it
yeah.
has placed a fear in me that does wake me up in the night that I can't sleep. I'm literally afraid to even speak
Mm,
it out loud because I believe in the power of the tongue. And day 17, I had to write it out 77 times. And I must say, Apostle, from that day till now, I've had a good night's sleep because the fear did not wake me
mm.
up at night. Because I usually get up at night
Wow.
crying because
Wow.
I am literally scared because I'm seeing everything that he went through mentally, physically. I
Hmm.
am seeing it almost on the opposite
Wow.
I am facing the same exact
Wow.
thing. And it has a fear in me because I'm getting closer to the age that he died. And I'm still constantly battling with these same things. But
Wow.
you see, day 17, one of the challenges, I
Mm.
had to write it out and I faced it. I wrote
Yeah.
it 7 times in my book because I'm a person like to journal, and I stopped doing journaling about 5 years ago because I found myself always going back to everything that I wrote that hurt me and reading it, and someone told me I need to stop, so I stopped. And because of this, I started back
Mm.
journaling too. And I wrote all those
Right.
fears, and I have had a good night's sleep, and I just want to thank God for that. I haven't gotten up and be
Wonderful.
worried about him and the things he faced
Mm.
because I am not him. And my
Right.
God is
Okay.
good. And
Wonderful.
I even had a dream where God said to me, that is not your fate. Let it go. So I let it go,
Right.
and I've been
Mm.
sleeping well. I haven't gotten up one night sitting on my bed thinking about
Wow.
what tomorrow is, where if something else that he
Mm.
went through, I'm going to see it. And I'm just so grateful for that.
Yes.
So I came
Wonderful.
face to face with that fear on day 17, and I am happy
Mm.
to say that
All right.
it is not a deep fear anymore. I mean, it will linger in the back of my
Wonderful.
mind, yes, but
Yeah.
I don't feel too concerned about it because I serve a true God, and He is letting me know this is not my story. So I just wanted
Wonderful.
to
That's
share that.
right. All right. Wonderful, Tosha. Just a few things. All right. You're writing your story. And that is why this is so important. Remember, we spoke about the epigenetic. All right, activate this record in your DNA. So during your writing, okay, like you said, you used to write 5 years ago, okay, and you used to all those stuff, but now you're writing, but you're writing positive things. You write, and your writing will you're rewriting your whole destiny going forward, because your destiny don't have to be your father's destiny. Okay, you are now have the opportunity to rewrite your destiny based on the plans, based on the purpose, and based on the will of God for your life. All right. I want everyone on the live, you on there. This text, you will live and not die for me on the chat. Everybody, those of you on, just pause and just text it. You will live and not die. You will live and not die. All right. I believe that this is really, really powerful. It speaks a lot. I will even go back on this 7 on the chat here. Guarding your gates. All right. It talks about Proverbs 4:23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the what? Issues of life. That's it. Come on, just everyone, just text it there. Okay, just text it there. Okay, understanding what your words. So what it is you are doing also, folks, okay, you are rewriting, okay, your whole DNA, the epigenetic. Remember, your children also, because it's a record. Okay, so you are really writing stuff for your children and the next generation. Okay, so I want you to really understand what is taking place, folks. Okay, I know it's going to take time for a lot of folks to get hold of this, but for those of you who are onto it, and sometimes those who, as I said before, those who drop off, give them a call, text them, jump back in, all right? Because I know sometimes they feel bad, they miss out a day or two. Come back in. Okay, this is not based on if you do it every day, but consistency breeds results. You drop off, come back up, let's push in. All right. So understand what I said again. When you write in, you are rewriting your whole that DNA code in your subconscious there, on your epigenetic there. All right. So go back, write with a pen and a paper, do the 7 days. All right. Yes, you write stuff, but now you're writing the word of God. You're writing what God said about you, for you, and to you. All right. You're writing what God said about you, to you, and for you. Okay. Don't stop. All right, folks. I want to stop here. All right. Before I stop, I just want to run one thing here. All right. Sorry. I want to just share something with you all right. All right. All right. Mm. All right. So These are just some of the stuff that we have to take a note of this. Okay, folks. So again, I want to thank everyone for coming on. Remember, this is on YouTube. You can go back up. I think I put it under Empowerment Temple International Live. Just click it in there. The link is also on the WhatsApp chat. Okay, and let's continue to push. Okay, and I'm going to share more about what we're going to be doing after the 40 days so you can be part of it, and let's build this community. Thanks for the testimonies. I know there are a lot of you who had stuff to share. Everybody couldn't share, but there are some other things we have coming up. I have a session for us to meet in person also, all right, at the Epicenter in Curepe. So we'll have an in-person session also. All that is coming up. All right. So look forward for what